Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
DJ, PK, and we're joined now by Brian Howell, Colorado Buffaloes writer for Buff Zone and the Boulder Daily Camera. Our spring football tour continues. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. We're trying to figure the Buffs out. That was just a bump in the road because Dion had a major health problem in the off season. So of course that season went sideways. There wasn't normal preparation, or hey, they had two awesome players, and with them gone, it's just not what it was, and it's not going to be. There's two potential storylines. Do you gravitate to either one of those? Is there a third one out there you prefer?
Those are the main two, and we're still trying to figure out which is which. Obviously losing Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter was huge, and that was the backbone of the previous teams, right? And for much of Dion's coaching career, and so losing those guys was huge. And they missed on replacing some guys, but then there's also the fact that Dion was gone for a good chunk of the offseason, and he was not a part of some of those guys bringing them in. Last year there was the spring portal window, and they had a lot of newcomers come in during that window, and he wasn't really a part of bringing them in because he was going through all of his health things. So he mentioned last year there was some guys that when he got back for fall camp, he was meeting for the first time some of his own players. So I do think that was a huge factor. He believes that was a major factor in some of their failures last year. And so it's time to go prove that. I mean, we're going to find out if that's a difference maker this year.
What's the level of true competition at quarterback between Juju Lewis and our guy, Isaac Wilson?
Yeah, it's definitely a competition. I mean, there's people in the building that believe Isaac had the better spring between the two players. So it's definitely – there's a lot of people that kind of assume that Juju is the guy, but I wouldn't assume that. I think Isaac's very much in it. I think whoever has the better fall camp is going to be the starter when they go to Georgia Tech.
For years, we heard Kyle Whittingham say, run the ball and play defense. Running the ball has not been Colorado's strength under Deion Sanders. Is that going to change? And if so, who is the running back likely to change it?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, running the ball and defense were their 2 weak points last year, which is why they were 3-9. But running the ball, I think it's going to be a committee. Brendan Marion comes in with that go-go offense, and it's always been known for running the football. And he's always had kind of a mix of guys that run the ball. And so we don't know who's going to be the main running back, but they've got a stable of backs that they feel are pretty capable to get the job done. I don't see them having a 1,000-yard rusher, but I could see them having 3 guys that finish with 500 to 600.
You talk about on the defensive side there, you had some struggles. Well, reading up on them, I'm hearing that linebacker should be a strength. You had 3 transfer portals, one kid from Texas, a 4-star, and you brought in a couple other kids there. And I think there's 2 returning. Linebacker's an important position, obviously. Do you think that's going to be the strength of the defense?
It kind of needs to be. I mean, that and the front set, the whole front seven needs to be a strength for them. But linebacker, I think they're in a much better spot than last year. Leona Leafau was a 2-year starter at Texas. Helped them get to the CFP a couple of years ago, and is a pretty good player. And Gideon Lampron, his middle name is ESPN, so he can play. He was a FCS All-American, then he was an all-conference guy at Bowling Green. He was one of the top 10 guys in the country last year in TFL, so he can play as well. So Tyler Martinez from New Mexico State is another one that they like. Yeah, I think that trio, they believe that might be the best trio of linebackers they've had since Deion got there.
I have read that the Colorado secondary could be the strength of the team. That wouldn't be surprising given that Deion was a cornerback in the NFL. The safety, Boo Carter, is he really going to be that good? I've read a little bit of stuff about him. They're not booing. They're chanting, boo. So is Boo Carter the guy, and is the secondary the group?
He very well can be. He was the guy that just had some issues at Tennessee. I don't know what went into it, but he just had some issues there, and he was kicked off the team last year. And when I talked to some Tennessee people, their take was, yeah, good luck with that. Meaning he's our problem now. So, but the Buffs like him a lot. Deion Sanders has said he thinks that he's a possible first-round type of corner. They brought him in to kind of play nickel, but they moved him out at corner. He might actually be one of their top 2 corners. Deion thinks he can be a high draft pick at that spot. He should be a leader. He's a 4-star guy. He should be one of their best players. If he's not, it probably means he's probably reverting back to some of those issues he had at Tennessee. But they feel like he's had a really good spring, really good offseason, and he can be a star for them.
See if they can run the ball, but throw the ball. We talked about the quarterbacks. Now the guys receiving the balls, catching the passes. Danny Scudero, San Jose State. Well, I believe he led the level at, what's that, FBS? Is that what they called? That he led in receiving yards out of San Jose. Now it's a jump, but we've seen guys make jumps, and it's not as big a jump as we anticipate. What are you looking for from him?
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that's going to get the ball. He's a really dynamic receiver, led the country in receiving yards last year. And, they had LaJohntay Wester a couple years ago that came from G5 and was one of the top receivers in the country. He had a great year for them. They believe Danny can be not only a top receiver for them as far as production, but a leader for them as well. So I think he's going to be probably their best receiver, but they also have DeAndre Moore, Joseph Williams. DeAndre came in from Texas. Joseph was here last year. So they believe they've got a really good receiving core. People just don't know a lot about him yet.
We're talking all around the issue. You got to win the line of scrimmage. Do they have a decided advantage in either the offensive line or the defensive line? Is it a push? Are they going to be playing uphill? I think we all remember watching them, and a really good quarterback, but they were throwing a lot of quick passes to the perimeter because they couldn't block anybody. How good are they going to be on the line of scrimmage?
Well, that's the question for them, and it always is. And, they brought in a whole bunch of new people again. And so the offensive line is totally revamped. They lose Jordan Seaton, who's a potential first-round tackle that's now at LSU. They like some of the guys they brought in, but we're going to see. I mean, I know that's not answering your question, but I think that's where they are with that. Is you have so many new pieces, but they bring in a center from Houston, Demetrius Hunter, who was a 2-year starter. That's kind of the rock there in the middle. And then on the defensive line, they're thin, but they do like some of the pieces they have there. Santana Hopper has produced everywhere he's been. I think this is his 3rd school. He was an all-conference player at Tulane last year, helped them get to the CFP. So they do have some really good pieces. I don't think their depth is great on the defensive line. And offensive line, I think there's a bunch of question marks until we see that group together.
Jordan Seaton, we remember him when Colorado got him. He was a big name, 4 or 5-star, whatever it might be. And on the way out, he's making some comments that something along the lines at LSU that it just means more. How was that received in Colorado, and what was your perception of it?
Yeah, I mean, the way it was perceived, I mean, Deion has taken the high road, as he usually does on those things, and just says, hey, we don't talk about other schools and other kids. But, my perception is, well, yeah, I think it does mean more at LSU. I mean, you look at Colorado, their history over the last 20 years, and LSU's history, it does mean more. It also costs more at LSU.
That's for sure.
Is there still the buzz around town? I mean, we remember spring games a couple of years ago, massive crowds. It is hard to be cool and on the cutting edge and maintain that just by its nature, that kind of stuff. People move on to the next big thing, whatever it is. What's the buzz like around the team right now?
Not the same. Clearly, the honeymoon's, definitely over for Deion. This is the first time since he was there. This was his 4th spring, and they didn't charge for tickets because I think they knew they wouldn't sell a whole lot. And the attendance was the lowest that it's been, even with the free tickets. So, the buzz is definitely gone. He's got to win. I mean, these fans in Colorado for all sports, this state is Broncos and whoever wins. And if the Buffs start winning, they're not going to get a lot of support. And so coming off of a 3-9, there are a lot of fans that are in that, prove it mode. They got to go out there and win some games.
How about with the new athletic director? We know Rick George is out, and they brought in the University of New Mexico athletic director. Does that make it turn up the heat a little bit on Deion?
I think that's a good question and one that we don't know. I think anytime you have a football coach that wasn't hired by the athletic director, you're going to look at that. With Rick George, I think Deion would have been just fine. There is the fact that no matter who the AD is, if they wanted to get rid of Deion after this year, they still owe him $25 million, and Colorado doesn't have a whole lot of money. So with a new AD, though, does he go out and find it if this is a disastrous year? I don't know. He doesn't have a history with that. He has one other AD job, and it was for 1 year in New Mexico, and he didn't have to fire a football coach. So we're not really sure what that's going to look like, but I think the fact that there is a new AD, it does change the dynamic a little bit. It's going to make you look at it more.
I think we all get he has to win, but winning's defined different places. There's places you can win 8 or 9 games and be in hot water. There are places if you get to 6, you're celebrated. They do have both Georgia Tech and Northwestern on the schedule, so they're playing 11 teams from the Power 4 leagues out of 12. How much winning does he have to do so that people can say he's winning?
Well, I think a bowl game would be huge for them. I mean, that's kind of the thing that, in my mind, they need to shoot for. They're going to shoot higher, but if they're in a bowl game, and it'll be 2 bowl games in 3 years, that hasn't been done in 20 years at Colorado. So that would be a huge deal for them. But I do think be better than 3-9. If you're 4-8 and you've got a bunch of close losses, that maybe doesn't look so bad. If you're 5-7 with some close losses, maybe that doesn't look so bad. But ultimately, I think if they're 6-6 and get to a bowl game, that's going to be celebrated around here.
How about the high school recruiting? Because I've been reading a couple things. It seems like it's going a little bit better right now. I mean, obviously it won't be for this season, but down the line.
Yeah, they've had a surge. 6 commits in the last week, a week or 8 days, something like that.
Right.
And a couple of 4-stars as well. So they've had a nice surge here in the last little bit, and their recruiting class for 27 is looking pretty good. And so they're off to a good start. But again, you got to finish that, right? It's one thing to get the commits. That you got to hold on to those commits until they sign in December and arrive in January. And the key to that is going to be winning. If they're 3-9, 2-10 or something like that, a lot of those guys might jump ship. So you got to win games to keep those guys on your commit list because, as we know, guys flip all the time.
Well, Brian, we appreciate a few minutes for a peek at the Buffs and where they think stand in the spring. Thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Brian Howell, Colorado Buffs writer for Buff Zone and the Boulder Daily Camera. Colorado will host Weber State Saturday, September 12th, and Utah visits Saturday, October 17th. BYU does not see the Buffs this year.
That's too bad.
It feels like a W.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, definitely. I think if your goal is to get to a bowl, which is a legitimate goal for Colorado. I'm not scoffing at it. Well, BYU's goals are much higher. So right now, on paper, it would seem like that would be a win. And I believe it'll be a win for Utah.
No matter which of the local schools you root for, you think you have problems, and you can probably tell us all about your team's problems. But, man, when he said they've only been to a bowl game 2 out of 3, was it once in 20 years?
Yeah, last 20 years. Yeah.
Oh, golly, man, that's a lot of losing.
But it shows you how far down they've been.
A lot of losing.
Well, I've been over there many times, and the Shador Travis Hunter senior year, I thought I was placed in a foreign land.
Didn't look anything like any of your other trips over there.
Nothing.
Right. It was packed. There was energy.
And
people
the
were
Fox,
pumped.
whatever they call it, Big Noon, was there.
Yeah.
So I got there like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was rocking.
Of all the things Brian said, in Colorado, it's the Broncos and whoever's winning.
Well, that eliminates the Rockies.
You got to win to be relevant.
Yeah, I think that's not that different, though, in a lot of places.
The NFL team is king?
Particularly out west.
Yes. Seattle, it's the Seahawks and whoever's winning.
Yeah, just virtually every city.
The Dodgers and Lakers in L.A. L.A.'s wired different because their NFL teams left. But, yeah, I mean, to your point,
but they're
Arizona.
always winning.
Arizona, yeah, right. That's true, too. Arizona, Seattle, Denver, San Francisco.
Well,
even the Giants have some
your
open
Padres.
stage. Yeah.
Place sells out every night.
They're winning
it's awesome.
now, right?
They got a good team. as good an atmosphere as you can want. Beautiful stadium.
They're looking for something after the NFL left, and the Padres have given it to them. It was a perfect time to go.
Everybody's looking for something.
Yeah.
If you win, the Devils sold out every game last year. Every game.
Just win, baby.
Because they had won the year before. And they were okay enough. Had the hope of winning. And they want to build the momentum. Yeah, they sold out every game. And that probably hadn't happened since Frank Kush walked the campus.
How's Colorado going to make it to bowl eligibility?
I don't know. What's their schedule?
They got, Georgia Tech, Weber State, and Northwestern are the non-conference.
Weber's going to beat them.
Well, then it's over. If Eric Kerr goes in there,
if they lose to Weber, then they're in deep water.
They better start getting the $25 million buyout lined up, right?
If Weber beats them Monday morning, we're doing the show from Weber.
I'm in on that, 100%.
Live from Eric Kerr's office.
Have some purple ready, guys. We're coming up. We need some hats. We need some shirts. We're on the bandwagon. Let's go.
I've done a show from Weber State's press box.
I have too. If you go on the backside looking not to the state but looking west, phenomenal view out across Ogden to the lake. Oh my gosh!
Everyone is.
I know the geography lends itself to.
I remember it was in the afternoon. I was subbing.
Oh,
in fact, is Lloyd right there? Yeah, Lloyd asked me, "Hey, can you do the afternoon show?" I said, "Yeah," and then he tells me a little later, "Oh yeah, you're on remote at Weber."
Just feed you one bit of info at a time. Get you committed.
After I said yes, then he told me, yeah.
Oh, you got to drive an hour.
Yes, I can do it. Now you get to drive up to Weber.
And I've never forgiven him.
Well, that's
for many things, that included.
No, actually, I was doing it with Gordon. So I said, Gordon, you're driving. I'll drive to your house because I live more south than you. And so the two of us went up there, and it was during training camp when Jay Hill had one of his better teams. So we were sitting in the press box watching the team practice. And Jerry Bovee was the AD. He met us in the parking lot. And it was a lot of fun. They had a good team. And then Jay, after practice, came up and spent some time with us. And there was a while there. We were doing it. Weber was advertising heavily. We did during basketball season. We did some shows there.
We were up there in the Student Union building multiple times. Yeah. We were also at his. They had a golf tournament. We went to, and we saw.
I think it was the Country Club.
Jay Hill lash a ball 300 million miles down the middle of the fairway.
That's pretty long, 300 million. Yeah.
He got a hold of it. Had a tailwind, too. Who are we kidding?
One of the playoff games, they had Adrian Lizer, our old friend. He and I go up there for a playoff game, and it was snowing outside. We're underneath one of the tents doing it outdoors.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we've done a lot of that stuff.
I remember watching that Friday in December. Butt freezing cold.
So assuming Colorado loses to Texas Tech and to Utah, and assuming they lose to ASU and Houston, they got to go 6-2 in their other 8 games, or they got to take down a big dog.
Well, I mean, that's the Big 12, though.
Okay.
Everybody's got to do it.
Don't see the path there, but maybe they'll make one. Maybe they'll make one.
But also on the flip side of that's the Big 12, I used to talk about there would be 2 or 3 head shakers in the Pac-10/12. Well, now as we're getting more familiar with the Big 12, there are head shaker teams. I wasn't necessarily saying head shaker teams. I was just saying upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Devils, Dillingham. No,
some 4-win team.
Dillingham wasn't even there yet, and they beat Washington out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a good team, but that's what I was talking about. Here in the Big 12, you're having teams that end up being hugely surprise teams.
2 years ago, it was Colorado, and it was ASU.
Yeah, I don't think it really was Colorado 2 years ago.
It was a 4 or 5 game improvement. I mean, it was pretty massive.
Yeah, but I know. But they had
BYU.
2 stars at the top.
BYU, Colorado, ASU all went 7-2, tied for first place in the regular season, and none of them were picked high in the league. They were all picked down.
Yeah, I still don't think Colorado, but I get your point. They weren't picked high. But when you have that caliber of players, because I thought Shedeur was an outstanding college quarterback. We'll see what happens in the pro level, and Travis Hunter's talent speaks for itself. But I thought Shedeur running around there, doing what he did, throwing the ball, was just outstanding. And we'll see. That would be amazing if Isaac Wilson got that job.
Yeah.
Because I thought Lewis was the big 5-star, but you never know with quarterback, man. We've seen this a million times over. You just don't know about quarterback.
Colorado has 1 home game in their first 4. That Weber State game, game 2. They're at Tech in the opener, and then they're at Northwestern and Baylor. They got to win on the road, or they're 1-3, and they're coming home to play Texas Tech and Utah, and the whole thing can get away from them. So we'll know early on. Colorado had some of these teams we've talked about. The whole schedule, like they'd better start 5-1 because the back half's loaded. But Colorado could be in trouble right out of the gate.
Well, just stay above water and then cash in down the road.
Yep. All right, DJ PK, everything you missed in this show coming up next. Stay with us.
For Jazz fans, it's been a rough few years. Well, those days are behind us as the Utah Jazz finally struck gold in the NBA Draft Lottery.
Picking second.
As the Jazz prepare to draft a potential superstar with the number 2 overall pick, nobody will bring you better coverage of the NBA Draft than the KSL Sports Zone. For all the breaking news, high-profile interviews, and player analysis leading right up to draft night, keep it locked on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5. The KSL Sports Zone.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Obviously they dominated us 4-0, but I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question. Just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team, but serious wise, it didn't show it. So tough question to answer.
Slacker Read Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 1-855-TRAJAN1 or visit the website at TrajanWealth.com. There is James Harden on the Cavaliers getting swept. He thought they were the better team, which no one who watched all 4 games thought, but I guess you got to tell yourself whatever you got to tell yourself when they're in the locker room getting ready.
Guys say that too. It's not true, but they say it. You got beat 4-0. You got swept. You blew a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter.
And that was the only game you were competitive in. They dominated the other 3.
It's a stain on the season for Cleveland. A nice season, but it's a stain. Expect more in the conference final. Anytime you get to the conference final, you expect, unless there's some number 8 seed that's pulled off massive upsets, and then finally the truth levels out, you expect the conference final to be much more competitive. But it does happen. I mean, the Jazz swept the Lakers that one year.
98, yeah, took him down. It was quick. I was going to say it was painless, but, not
Kobe
for them.
was a puppy.
He was.
Yeah. So he turned into...
Shaq couldn't defend the pick and roll.
What do you call a snake? It's a black mama. What do you call a puppy
snake? A baby snake? Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't really work.
It doesn't.
We were golfing in St. George's Sunbrook over the weekend and saw a snake slithering right across the fairway.
How far away?
Well, as close as you wanted to get.
20 yards.
No, my wife took a bunch of pictures. She got way closer than that.
Oh, okay.
But you could see it, something moving, and then you get up there, and it was a snake. Snaking through the fairway. Had somewhere to go, I guess.
Big game tonight, Game 5, Spurs and Thunder. It's 2-2, PK. We talked about it on Friday. Can't be that surprising that it's 2-2, and here we are. I was only surprised the games weren't more dramatic. I thought the Thunder won comfortably, and the Spurs, that was a blowout.
Yeah, that was. You're talking about, what was it, Sunday?
Game 4, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Spurs jumped them, and they needed that game. They were a more desperate team, no question. And then Pop spoke to them.
Oh, thank goodness.
Whew. Where would they be without him? Where would we be without him? I mean, come on. And so now tonight, the sense of urgency is both. It's even. Because the venue hasn't meant anything.
Split 2 at home, split 2 on the road.
So
yep.
I don't really care where the game's being played. And when you get to this level, usually that's the case. But it'd be interesting to see the level of urgency with the Thunder, because they didn't have it the other night. And they didn't look very good, obviously. And what are they going to do now? Now, it's just one game. We see blowouts from time to time. It doesn't necessarily reflect the way the series is going to go. And that's basketball. But it wasn't, even though the Spurs dominated, which they clearly did, it wasn't like they were playing at, oh, man, this is just our night. Everything's rolling. So that's a little scary from Oklahoma City's standpoint. But they've got the track record, and they've been in these difficult situations before. This is nothing new to them.
They didn't have the urgency in Game 4. They had it in Game 2 because they just dropped the home game. They had it in Game 3. I expect they'll have it again in Game 5, and that they'll win. I don't know if they'll summon it in 6. You think the Thunder will win? I would think the Thunder would win tonight.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm with you on I don't know. I mean, Wemby summons another 40 and 20. Now, they've been guarding him with bigs, and Hartenstein's done a pretty good job on him. The 40 and 20 was against, when they thought they'd get cute and guard him with smaller players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that they didn't, the other night, didn't look like, wow, player A blew me away.
Right.
Nobody really blew me away. It's just that they did their thing.
They did their thing. Well, I think what blew you away was that the Thunder managed just 82
points. It was those guys over there.
Good grief.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not like the Spurs, Game 1, Wembanyama played out of his mind.
Right. Wembanyama won the game at the offensive end of the floor and with his rebounding. But this was a total
Game
defensive
4,
thing. The Thunder.
Like they just did what they're capable of doing. It wasn't like they needed superhuman efforts. They're very capable of doing Game 4 and Game 5.
But are they capable as a group of holding the Thunder to 33% shooting and 18% from the three-point line?
Well, some of it just matters if the shot goes in, but I think you have to give the team defensive credit when another team is struggling. Now, they maybe the Thunder, it's not happening for us. They lacked intensity. We got what we needed. We're 2-2. This is going to go the distance, and we're
going to go get Game 5 and retake the lead.
Yeah, which is all that matters.
Right, which is their attitude in Game 3. We're going to go retake the lead, and they did.
But they did that so comfortably, to see them come out and get smoked was a surprise.
We had Austin Ainge on earlier in the show. What did he say that you would like to relate to the people? It is up on Facebook, DJ and PK. It's on Twitter, David DJ James. You can watch the interview. It's up on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Yock's posting it everywhere.
They did not consummate a trade with Washington the day after the lottery order.
He couldn't wait to shoot that down. That cracked him up.
Well, I knew it was going to. I mean, I could tell you it was going to. Because I knew.
It's much more methodical. There's no race to now we got to go.
Yeah, but it is on the sources said who was writing it.
You got to have a report out immediately. Come on.
Right. It's the competition now is so strong that you got to come up with something, even if there's like one shred, just barely a shred of truth.
That's all true.
Yeah.
It's they know it'll be a while before a trade is, they see each other. They know they're going to see each other. It'll be a while before the trade is done and announced, and it is a poker game.
Somebody told me that somebody told them this is, I am making a joke of this, so please, I am not reporting anything, but I'm talking about the rumor mill. Here locally, somebody said that somebody told them that they were willing to include Ace Bailey. Now, that is not me reporting it. I'm just saying. And I'm like, it gets so, you're getting like 15 people removed. And who maybe they visited with Ace DeBonsa, and he heard they're willing to include Ace DeBailey. Ace whomever, right? Ace Frehley of KISS.
Famous aces. When I was just getting started and calling UC Santa Barbara Division III football games, and they're playing Redlands and Occidental and Cal Lutheran, those little schools down in L.A. They had a wide receiver named Johnny Ace. What a great name for a wide receiver.
I agree.
Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
He was small, but he's fast and he had great hands.
For your
So he
team or
played
the other team?
D3. He was on the UC Santa Barbara team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to do what they need to do, and we'll see what even if nothing happens, okay, fine. And then something will happen after that, because that's when they can go with free agency and trades and so forth, and they'll just pivot and go there. And we'll see how that works.
He couldn't go very far down that road because, as he said, well, it depends on who we draft. There's guys at the top of the draft who in this era of positionless basketball are about as different as you can be. I mean, the 2s, 3s, and 4s get pretty interchangeable depending on the guy. But
to an extent, but not completely, because he can recite without the list all the free agents that they would be interested in. Now, he wouldn't do that, obviously, but he could already. There's no doubt in my mind. Hey, we like player XYZ, and I don't think that'll change much relative to who they draft, because that's a free agent.
Right.
They've got the financial situations determined.
But
blah blah.
But is there one less wing guy they need, or is there one less guard they need because they draft one? And it's a little mushy because guys can swing between positions.
But free agents, if you like somebody, he's available now. So if you want him, you've got to get him now. So it shouldn't matter as much who's already there.
Austin did not want to paint himself into a corner there. He said, well, yes, because I was asking about a veteran ball handler, somebody to help the perimeter and handle the ball. And he's, yes, but he's got to be good enough. So he's got a list of the.
But that has no your framework has nothing to do with who they draft.
Right, but he says yes. They know they need a veteran.
Yeah,
and you can't. Of all the things you can draft, you can't draft a veteran. So that need is there, but they're not going to add a veteran just to add a veteran. Clearly, he's got a list of veterans he wants to add, and then he's got a list of other veteran players who are available that he does not want to add.
Right. So
and
that's why I don't think it matters.
Out.
The draft doesn't matter on that.
Right. That'll come down to playing time and money and fit and what the other offers are.
Competition.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think they'll get somebody in that or two. I think that if you want to go on that particular position, I think that who they draft could determine if it's one or two.
What will the Wizards do? Bum, bum, bum. Draft AJ. That's what they should do. But we'll see what they do.
Oh, I don't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Still could be Peterson. They'll clear up all that stuff.
No, I think you can trade. And you want to help your team.
How far down would the Wizards trade? I can't believe they trade very far down.
Right.
Memphis?
Well, it's
Chicago. 3-4.
Squeeze these guys across the street here.
Yeah. I don't know that they're going to be squeezed.
See, but I think it's more about how bad they want DeBonsa. That's what I'm telling you. The guy who said he talked to somebody said, they want him real bad, and they're going to include Ace. Okay, sure. But if they want him real bad, suppose they do want him real bad. If they believe, then yes, include Ace.
It's a big ask.
It is. But that means big ask. You're believing to like 99.999%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the outrageous would be, because we were talking about young guys don't produce. Well, there's a short list. Magic won a title. Duncan won one in his second year. Now, they had Kareem and David Robinson for teammates. There were pieces in place, but nonetheless, guys who excelled early.
It's not about winning a title your first year.
Shaq took a terrible team, a legitimately terrible team with no talent, and immediately made them 500.
Yeah.
There are guys who come in and move the needle right away. Bird did.
But even if they thought it was 2-3 year process.
That group.
Yeah,
if you think he's the best player, if he's going to be the best player on a championship team, and you're positive, the guys are good players, but they're not that.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Then find a way.
And if they've come to that conclusion, now my instinct would say I wouldn't do that.
The easiest, most expensive way, or the easiest, most inexpensive way would be for AJ to just play hard to get. Hey, I really don't want to come there. I'm really not going to want to re-sign there. You should make a deal. That's the least expensive way for the Jazz. If he would just say that.
Although they could just say tough.
As the Jazz said a year ago with Ace Bailey. We'll take him.
The Jazz have to, whatever they're offering now, has to increase. If I'm Washington, I go up to the day of the draft. Here's what we want. Well, how about, here's what we want. Well, how about, did you not hear what I just said? Here's what we want.
It's a poker game.
And then the day of, you can come off that. Yeah. If they're offering something really good. But, I mean, basically, it is our four guys and then everybody else, yes. And if they should say that, and I would even go, if they really believed in AJ, then as many picks as you're allowed to give.
Picks, pick swaps, load up.
Right, whatever.
You can trade your first-round pick every other year. For 6 years, I think. So
2 or 3 of those. Any of these other players, Filipowski on down. And that's no knock on any of those guys.
But what have you got to take to get a guy if you think he's generational?
It's a question of would they come off that and include Bailey, my wonderful life backcourt, George Bailey. And I hope they don't because as soon as
you want to use that line.
Yeah, once one of those guys gets traded or well, then that line's dead. I want the wonderful life backcourt, George Bailey.
If you really believe he's one of the two guys who's going to dominate the game, we've seen runs. Magic and Bird did it. Shaq and Duncan did it. LeBron and Steph Curry just did it. We're out there winning 8 out of 9. You're the lead guy. Is he that kind of guy?
I don't think so. But I would say that just about anybody say, I don't think so. And that doesn't mean they're not great players. I would have said that about Kobe.
Jordan and Hakeem.
And he did it.
Jordan and Hakeem, 8 in a row between them. I was just thinking of the guys who actually have done it. I've just said like 4 duos who dominated, right? You don't win a title unless you have one of those guys because they win 8 out of 8 or 8 out of 9 or whatever. I think that's what Shaq and Duncan did. Shaq and Duncan were both those guys. Everybody knew it. We never sat and debated that.
Well, yeah.
Everybody didn't know.
They played multiple years of college.
Hey, you're right. Everybody didn't know Bird even after 5 years of eligibility. He was really good, but nobody knew that.
Okay, to that level? Does anybody know that to that level?
I think people were all in on LeBron to that level, but they were not all in on Steph to that level.
Oh, not even close.
I know. No.
I don't even know that the Magic was that level. I think you'd have to go back to Lou Alcindor.
Kareem was that level. Everybody's all in on that guy.
So,
but again, 4 years,
guys
4 years of
50 years.
4 years of college and 3 titles.
Maybe
Duncan.
At most
were
5 guys in 50 years.
Yes, at most 5 guys. I'd agree. All right, DJ and PK, your feedback's coming up next. Stay with us.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 15th through the 28th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, Give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who save with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Join Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe, Friday from 10 to 2 at Tim Daly Mazda at 10785 South Auto Mall Drive in Sandy.
My favorite place.
Your favorite place?
Sandy.
Okay.
Nice community.
Your religious neighborhood in Sandy.
Nice people.
As the traffic.
Well,
JT,
a lot of people
traffic.
have sold. We got a lot more heathens moved in.
Oh, man. You just can't help yourself, can you?
Oh, you should see him. Outrageous.
Oh, man. All right.
Just kidding.
Question of the morning. A lot of reaction to this. So the Cavs finding out what the current Jazz brass has long since known. All about Donovan. Dude is Houdini. Flat out disappears, Ben says.
That's not true.
No. He went for 30. He didn't flat out disappear. Now,
and he didn't play the last 8-9 minutes. There was garbage time.
He doesn't have a major impact on the defensive end or on the rebounding. You know, it's scoring driven.
Got me there.
And can he pass the ball and get other people? But that's his game going in, and that's his game. And so he didn't disappear.
No, he has not.
Not
you're
good
right.
enough.
He's limited.
Right.
He's good in what he does.
Right.
But he doesn't affect the game across the board.
He was second team all NBA. If that does something for you, they're saying he's one of the top 10 players in the league. And even if you want to argue that, and I'm sure a lot of you do, but even if you do, like, all we're arguing here is he 8th? Is he 13th? Is he 16th? We're not arguing if he's really good. He's really good.
I wouldn't go top 10.
And we're not arguing he's outside the top 20. They're not doing that. So...
And you got injuries that factor in and all that stuff.
Yep.
So, and when you put together a top whatever list, you're not factoring injuries.
Clark says the sweep's not on Donovan. He played about as well as you'd hope. He's not going to carry a team deep into the playoffs, though. His defense is below average. I'm not sad we moved on. I don't like the Harden Lillard types that play offense only. The plus-minus on those types, never good.
Okay. That's reasonable. That's a reasonable
You can
take.
live with all of that?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm rooting for the Knicks and Clarkson. That dude deserves a title. He's one of my favorite Jazz members. Ravuth.
And I once was speaking to Jerry Sloan, and I said the word deserve. You don't deserve anything. You earn it. I don't deserve it. And the way he said it to me, so matter of fact.
Didn't want to argue with him, did you?
Never wanted to argue
When
with
Jerry
him.
got that tone going, the debate's over.
Right. I mean, he was listening, and he gave me really good answers. Yeah. But we're talking about deserving, and I was going on length of careers, the grinding nature of the statues, the grinding nature of Coach Sloan. He didn't want to hear it. No, he didn't know.
I'm with Michael. His third sentence, well, even a second one. I love DM. Okay, you can love whatever player you love, and some people love stars and some love role players. That's a whole interesting thing. Everybody seems to love the little guy, not the big guy. But here we go. I don't like playoff hero ball. It's too easy to defend. It's not what got you there. Yes. You are very big on you like basketball when the ball moves, and it is much harder to defend a team when the ball moves. The best teams have 5 guys who can score it and 5 guys who can pass it.
No question about that.
Guys aren't open for long, and they aren't open by much. Are you a good and accurate passer, and can you anticipate it? Because by the time you see it and you make the pass, a lot of times the moment's gone. It closes up again.
That's what I grew up on Nick basketball in the 70s.
And the ball moved.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was nobody was bigger than anybody else.
Yep.
In
Bing,
terms
bing,
of
bing.
stature, and I can name you that starting lineup. And that ball moved, and guys moved. Bill Bradley, they were talking about perpetual motion, constantly cutting, blah, 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 blah. And they played the game, and that's the way I was basically taught to watch the game. But at the same time, you put yourself in these guys' positions, and if I throw you the ball, what are you going to do with it? And I'm better off in my hands. The Jordan's just demanding that Kerr hit that shot. Okay. You've got to have that level of confidence. Now, Kerr was a shooter, and that's how he was in the league, right? And he's a good shooter, obviously. But Jordan Stockton's going to come, and they're going to double team me, and I'm going to throw you the ball. And it's unspoken. You're going to hit that shot, or I'm going to just do something unkind to you.
Well, he'd already punched him once.
And
I will punch you
again. And if you're
again.
Kerr, wait a minute, this guy's got all these titles, and he's giving me the ball? Yeah, I'm ready to go.
But it's also not the whole punch you. It's like, wow, Michael Jordan's
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not from a negative threat.
I'm going to make it.
He's instilling that confidence.
Yeah.
But, Kobe's talked about that, or guys talked about Kobe. Well, why do I throw it to you? You're not going to do anything with it. And so the guy who's the man on the team, LeBron has been hit with that, I think, unfairly and unjustly. Oh, he's so willing to pass. Well, if the guy's open, yeah, you should be. And LeBron has been willing to do that. And then if the guy misses a shot, well, LeBron, what were you doing?
I think that whole thing has been, that's where analytics has backed it up, that you'd rather have a lesser player have a wide open shot than a better player have a contested or double team shot. You just can't go into the teeth of the defense
sure, but
all
he's
the
LeBron.
time
He's
and
not
have
just
success.
a better player.
Well, granted, when you get to the LeBrons and the Magics, who are bigger and more athletic than the people matching up with, they rise above double teams, and it still becomes an open
It's
shot.
a quandary.
I get that.
Well, Jordan, and you've got Kerr, Paxton.
Yep.
So yeah, the guys are known for hitting shots,
right?
And Phil Jackson had to get Jordan to the point of willing to do it. It's a tricky thing.
It'll be interesting to watch the Knicks because Brunson plays a lot of hero ball. He's also borderline unstoppable. Left, right, stop, start, head fake, cut the other way. I mean, my gosh, he's hard to stay in front of. Just unreal. But with Wembayama waiting in the finals, or with a Thunder team that's very good defensively, I mean, everybody defends, you don't get on the floor. Is he going to have the room to operate, or is he going to come up short? That'll be fascinating when we get there.
Yeah,
but that's
I
next
don't
month.
think we're picking the Knicks.
Nope, none of us are, but nonetheless,
it's a series.
Here they are, right? Yeah.
Well, if the Knicks win, then it's my Knicks back in the 70s. I just want you guys to know that ahead of time.
I grew up with
You got a Knicks hat?
I grew up with a
I
sportscaster.
don't know if I got one. I'll have to look.
I grew up with a sportscaster who would literally put up on the screen my Padres, your Padres, and it was just based solely on whether they won. All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.